MOUs will be employed in Europe.
It's explosive.
Well, first of all, we must understand that war in itself is a display of anarchy. When you talk about war, that is lawlessness at its peak. When you say you are fighting war to keep Nigeria one, no. You fought the war as a manifestation of your incompetence in the management of the crisis that was then part of Nigerian history.
Hilarious.
I get malaria, my cancer. Behind every successful man, there's a woman at the front.
Stop shaking your head. You stop shaking your head. You're one of those who are causing problems.
On action, I don't want to
And daring.
Mr. President, God will ask all of us, but you will be in the front. I will say, I've told the Senate President.
Our nation remains one of the most insecure and least peaceful in the world today, making Nigeria one of the hungriest countries of the world. Nigerians now spend nearly their entire income on feeding.
We may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger.
My appeal is that you dedicate 20% of 2025, roughly 72 days, to visit each of the 36 states.
Catch the drama, feel the excitement on Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri with the Radio Marshal Barry Cosmos. Every weekday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join the conversation on Straight Talk with Barry Cosmos. Straight Talk. Get straight analysis. No bending corners.
Let's be poor. Breathe.
Every day,
every hour,
every minute,
and every second,
breaking news occur
from our villages,
in our cities,
new government policies,
the economy,
politics,
social news,
entertainment news,
security concerns.
We the people converge
to analyze,
separating facts from fiction,
lies and truth.
We dissect,
we integrate,
we harmonize,
we criticize,
and we bring you all the juicy details.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. It is Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Shall I begin? I am your host. I am your anchorman. I am the presiding bishop of this ministry, and I am awesome. My name is Barry Cosmos, the Radio Marshal, the Buruburu One on radio, the Okenze on radio, your big brother on radio. I am the main event, and I am here.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Are you ready?
All right, welcome everybody. This is Straight Talk Live on Echo FM 100.7. We are just going to introduce our conversation, and then when we come back from our break, we will now go straight into the conversation. All right. Now, have you heard about the bill, the NGO, non-governmental organization bill that is being discussed in the National Assembly? The bill is has now been past the second reading, the first and the second reading. That bill seeks to regulate NGOs. Now, the proposed NGO regulation bill in Nigeria threatens civic freedom by attempting to establish a powerful government commission to control non-governmental organizations, civil society, community groups, and religious institutions, whether churches or mosques, all under control by one new agency to be created by government. And this is what we'll be talking about today. I'll break down everything that you need to know. But before I even talk of me analyzing this whole thing, we have the son of Odinkalo who has broken down this bill. For those of you who are following us on our social media, please, I would like you to join us so that you can read these things for yourself and let it not be like we're just talking for talking's sake. I want you to see them for yourself because it's not yet a law. But once this law comes up, it will become a very big disaster in the making. Well, can we put up that particular law for the people to see for themselves as we'll just take it up together? So please join me up live on Facebook or YouTube, and then you can really, really see for yourself what we are talking about. First, the law is not yet a law. It's still a bill. It's not been passed. Now they're talking about public hearing. How will the public hearing be done? I don't know. Remember, the same law came up in 2016. It was shut down. And then it is back now. But Odinkalo son broke this thing down completely. And I want you to take a listen to what Odinkalo said in this particular breakdown. Please, everybody, pay attention and listen. Thereafter, we will analyze clause by clause of what this bill is trying to bring to you. So let's take a listen to what Odinkalo broke down. He called it the most dangerous authoritarian law or bill since 1999 and alleges threat to churches, mosques, and humanitarian groups. Let's take a listen to Odinkalo, and then we'll come back and give more analysis.
Nigeria's National Assembly is currently considering the NGO regulation bill for passage. It has gone through the first reading, it's gone through second reading, it's now in committee stage, and later this month, the Committee on NGOs in the House of Representatives in Abuja will be holding a public hearing on the bill. And it's important that you understand what this bill means and its implications for both yourself as a citizen and for the country in general. And let me be clear, this is the most dangerous piece of legislation that has come for consideration in the National Assembly since the return to civil rule in 1999. It covers the activities of every entity and everybody that is not government. And it affects churches, mosques, schools, universities, hospitals, everything, as well as humanitarian operations wherever they are taking place in the country, whether in the northeast or in the southeast or south-south, whether in the middle belt or in the northwest or southwest. It is totalitarian in its consequences. Now, what does the bill require? Basically, all resources, all funds, everything that are collected or liable to be collected and made available to service communities, individuals in need in this country will be subject to Abuja. Before you can raise funds in your church and your mosque, you have to get Abuja's permission. After you've raised the money, you have to return them to Abuja for Abuja to tell you what to do with them. And when you've done that, only Abuja can help you to do your audits. Nobody can operate anything without clearance from Abuja. It's worse than a totalitarian piece of legislation. For the old mamas and old papas doing isusu in the village, that is revolving credit. Before you do your collections, you come to Abuja for clearance. After you've done your collections, before you share the money or rotate the collections amongst the beneficiaries, you come to Abuja for clearance. Ahmadiyya movement will have to come to Abuja for clearance. NASFAT will come to Abuja to do anything. The mosques that do collections every Friday to support people in their congregations and their communities will all have to account for that money to civil servants who will either tell them what to do with it or collect it and trouser it into their pockets. The churches will be out of business, the mosques will be endangered. This is what the legislators want us to subscribe to. And as a citizen, you've got to understand that this means that there'll be no voice of criticism for government. Nobody can tell government anything. What this body proposes to do, what government is proposing with this bill, is that after it has been passed, everybody organizing in Nigeria under any form, students, all students association, reverend sisters in convents, reverend fathers and pastors, wherever they may be, imams, alfas, and everybody, you will have to apply to Abuja for them to register you to operate. If they agree to register, they can refuse to register you, in which case you cannot do anything. Now, if they agree to register you, however, you will have to only hold that license for 2 years. After those 2 years, you will have to apply for them to renew your license. If they agree at that time to renew your license, you can continue operating for another 2 years. If they don't agree, that license lapses. If you try to do anything without that license, you'll be liable to be imprisoned for 18 months. And if they are sympathetic and agree not to send you to jail, you may be let go with a fine of 500,000 naira. The civil servants will collect this money in the name of the politicians. It will be used to fire up political power that will not be accountable to any one of us. And this is why I'm saying that this is the most dangerous piece of legislation that's been considered in our country to date, in the past 20 years. But you can do something about it. This does not have to be law. This will not be law if you agree that as the citizen.
Echo FM.
All right, that was Barrister Dinkalo, who is a son and, of course, a former NBA chairman. And now we will take a short break. I'll let that sink deep into you. But we'll come back. We'll now digest these things together. We take a short break now for commercials and then the news update at 10. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
And in-depth coverage of issues impacting our community. Tune in every weekday at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for our major news bulletin in English, Igbo, and Pidgin language. For more inquiries, you can reach us through our email, echofm@thekingmail.com. You can follow us on our social media handles at EchoFM. Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the Fresh News People.
Welcome to the news update on Echo FM 100.7. Here are the latest stories we are keeping tabs on. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has raised concern over attempts by drug traffickers to conceal illicit substances in products such as cookies, gummies, and phone chargers. Femi Babafemi, the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, issued the warning in a post on X, urging parents to pay closer attention to their children's interest in cookies and gummies. Security forces in Enugu State have successfully apprehended 3 perpetrators of the August 2nd, 2026 kidnap attack on St. Joseph Catholic Church in Oyin Afa, Udi, LGA, Enugu State, and also recovered ransoms during the operation. Governor Peter Mba, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Chidiebere Onya, assured the people that his administration would continue to prioritize and invest in the security of their lives and properties. Nigeria's Lassa fever crisis has worsened, with 237 people dying from the disease out of 1,000 confirmed cases recorded so far in 2026, pushing the case fatality rate CFR to 23.7%. According to the latest situation report of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, the fatality rate is substantially higher than the 18.8% recorded during the corresponding period in 2025. The Ondo State Security Network Agency, condemned or codenamed Amoteku, has arrested and paraded 15 suspected kidnappers and other criminals allegedly terrorizing residents across the state. The state commander of Amoteku, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, stated that those arrested were involved in kidnapping, armed robbery, cattle rustling, and house-breaking. According to him, the rescue operation was carried out jointly with the Department of State Services, DSS, and the Nigerian Police. Troops of Sector 2 Operation Fansanyama, deployed for counter-terrorism and anti-banditry operations in Kebbi State, have said that they ambushed Lakurawa terrorist group on transit to wreak havoc in Dundee local government area of Kebbi State. According to the acting director of Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Olayinka Osoba, the troops, acting on credible intelligence, swiftly mobilized and laid a tactical ambush for the terrorists. And in business, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has reaffirmed its commitment to building an efficient, transparent, and globally competitive maritime administration through sustained reforms and stronger stakeholders' collaboration. Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moboreola, gave the assurance while receiving the leadership of the Alumni Association of the Maritime Academy of Nigeria during a courtesy visit to the agency's headquarters in Lagos. And in sports, Hurricane has been awarded the European Golden Shoe for the 2025-2026 season after finishing as Europe's leading league goal scorer. According to reports, the England captain earned the prestigious individual award following another prolific campaign with Bayern Munich. Kane scored 73 goals across the season, including 12 for England, matching his best international return since the 2021-2022 campaign. And on the foreign scene, South Korean and U.S. troops will begin annual military exercise next week to strengthen their readiness against North Korean threats. Days after Pyongyang resumed ballistic missile testing banned by the United Nations. The 11-day All-Chief Freedom Shield exercise will maintain a scale similar to previous years, with about 18,000 South Korean troops expected to participate, South Korean military spokesperson Jang Dong-yong told reporters. And that is all for the news update at 10, brought to you by our news desk. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media platforms. On Facebook is Echo FM, on X at Echo FM_Owerri, on Instagram and YouTube is Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by clicking on www.echofm.net. And that is the news update at 10. Thank you for listening. The rest of Straight Talk continues. Stay with us.
Echo FM.
Echo FM 100.7, the fresh news people.
Every day,
Every hour
every minute,
and every second.
breaking news occur
From our villages,
in our cities,
new government policies,
the economy,
politics,
social news,
entertainment news.
security concerns.
We, the people, converge.
To analyze
Separating facts from fiction.
lies and truth.
We dissect.
We integrate.
We harmonize.
We criticize.
And we bring you all the juicy details.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. It is Straight Talk.
Straight talk.
Straight Talk on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Shall I begin? I am your host. I am your anchorman. I am the presiding bishop of this ministry, and I am awesome. My name is Barry Cosmos, the Radio Marshal, the Buruburu One on radio, the Okenze on radio, your big brother on radio. I am the main event, and I am here.
Live on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri.
Are you ready?
Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's time now for us to go into the nitty-gritty of what is going on in the National Assembly. Well, this bill of the NGO has already passed first and second reading. It's going for a public hearing now in Abuja, whoever is going to be there. But let's get a background story of why the bill in the first place come before we look at the dangers surrounded with the bill. Well, according to the NGO Regulation B, it was brought about by successive attempts by lawmakers to control foreign money and a target critical activist and claim state oversight over massive donor-funded projects. While it was first formally introduced in 2016 by the late Deputy Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Umar Buba Jibril, the legislative push has resurfaced continuously, including a heavily advanced version introduced in mid-2026. Now, this one has just come up speedily. It has passed first and second reading, so you can understand what this simply means. Where the primary factors official, what they are giving as excuses that raised the controversial bill. I want to give you that before we look at what the bill actually is supposed to do. With the national security and terror tracking, that is the excuse they are giving. First, they told us that if they do NIN, everybody will trace people, callers and all that. That one no work. People say they collect ransom and anyhow. Now they're coming again with a new pattern of controlling everybody. Make you look like a ping-pong, any way they want. You must take permission from them for you to even speak. The likes of Very Dark Man and the likes of even what I'm saying here on radio will be regulated. So that's exactly what they and the excuse they're giving is national security and terror tracking. Lawmakers repeatedly argue that billions of naira enter the country via local and international NGOs without state tracing. Now, they are now using it to say, okay, most of this funding that is coming where they're funding terrorists is coming through NGOs. Now, that begs the question, what is your own regulatory framework? Can people just carry the money, fly, enter Nigeria, they pass through banks, and they send it here? And these things, you have the track records where you can track these things. But the government said, no, they are using this to stop national security and terror tracking. The government claimed that under-regulated funding channels are being exploited to quietly finance terrorist network, banditry, and insecurity across Nigeria. Lawmakers insist they need to see exactly where foreign aid money is coming from and what it is being spent on. Then you want to ask them, the U.S. aid that the government collects, what do you use it for? It is other people's NGO, Nadia on money. Anywhere where human beings, Nigerians get small opportunity to get something from anybody or group of persons, internationally or nationally, government don't carry eye. Chook there. Now, within this bill, they do. Two, they say financial corruption in IDP camps. It is appalling that we have IDP camps. Now, in these IDP camps, government is now using it that there is financial corruption in IDP camps. And that's the reason why they want to regulate NGOs. Well, the major catalyst for the bill introduction was allegations of mass fraud in a Northeast government official accused certain NGOs of using the plight of internally displaced persons to solicit massive international donations only to mismanage the funds or convert the aid to personal wealth instead of helping the victims. This sounds true on paper, very sweet reason, but is this the reason? Why do we even have IDP camps? Why should people be living as IDPs in their own country when they are not at war? They are now conquered species. Suppressing government critics. This is one, they said. Beneath the official transparency narrative, yes, human rights defenders and analysts point out that the political class brought this bill to muscle the civil society organizations that act as public watchdogs. Groups like SERAP, Nigeria, and the CHAP, and of course, constantly expose state corruption, election fraud, and human rights abuses. The bill was designed to give politicians a legal tool to freeze the bank accounts or conceal the licenses of the critical voices. Three, the fourth one here is the fear of foreign interference. Lawmakers have voiced deep suspicion that foreign donor agencies use the Nigerian NGOs to push external anti-government agendas. Sponsors of the bill argue that a federal commission is necessary to ensure that foreign-funded civil society organizations do not carry out projects that destabilize Nigeria or act against national political interests. Now, you ask these people who are saying this, can you give us 1, 2, or 3 examples where foreign-funded organizations are destabilizing Nigeria? I don't know, you just write speak BB grammar. The government excuses, they claim the bill is about accountability, tracking foreign money, and blocking terrorism financing. But the actual reality, it is a political power grab designed to monitor every fundraiser or every fund raised, every naira, every kobo, and shut down organizations. That is the challenge. And the ones that challenge bad governance will also be locked down. Now, this is the reality Nigerian CSOs are saying would happen. And that is what Odin Kalu was also saying. Okay, let me also break down a little bit of what the bill is trying to do. Now, the NGO already is active. If you have an NGO that is active, like Ure, who is trying to try and get her NGO up, if the bill passes, well, active NGOs will not be automatically shut down, but they will face intense new bureaucratic hurdles. One is mandatory registration. After you don't go pay registration, after 2 years, you have to go back again and re-register. And it will be if they approve you. Let's take the Ratel NGO, for instance. Ratel organization headed by a very dark man. Who want to make that, which government agency go agree Ratel NGO to function? Which one? Monarch, just give me one example. Or SERAP, that is always on government and the rest of CSOs. Now, this is where it gets messy. Two, of course, after 24 months, which is 2 years, you have to do this. And then funding approval. Government have to approve for you to be funded by foreign body, where they don't help you find, though. For instance, you now write letters to foreign donor organizations, maybe to Hope Rising Foundation, and they send you money for your program. You must go Abuja, go get approval before those people go fund them. If they fund them, you take the money to Abuja. Abuja will not tell you how to use it. Yeah. Now, this is exactly the dangers in that. Now, I was trying to find out, before you register an NGO, you go to the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, and you register now. Is it that the CAC is no longer valid? You should not go, or you go there, but you must still go and register with this thing. Is this not duplication of functions in government? Why do we need a new agency when we already have an agency doing that job? And this is what we're talking about. And we're talking about reduction in government expenditure, the cost of governance, and they're creating new agencies. Who will fund this agency? They will now bring another budget to budget a new agency. Oh, me tabo. Now, these are the issues involving this. These are the serious issues. Now, to the bill proper. Please, Evans, can you put that up for people, those of you following us on our social media? Let's read out together what this means. Let's put it up. Let's put it up for our listeners and our viewers to read alongside so that you can listen to the bill directly as they wrote it. Please, let's have that bill posted on our social media for our viewers. Please join me on social media, on Facebook and YouTube. Well, according to Odin Kalu, he calls the proposed law most dangerous, authoritarian since 1999 and alleges threat to churches, mosques, humanitarian groups. Coalition of 90 Nigerian, African and international civil society and human rights organization yesterday called on the National Assembly to immediately withdraw the proposed foreign aid regulations, transparency and disclosure bill. That is what they call it. 2026 and other pending legislative proposals that describe as repressive, where the group warned that their passage would accelerate democratic decline and erode constitutional freedom ahead of the 2027 general election. Now, the issue is, this thing is coming so close to the election, and if you look at National Assembly, boom, it becomes a law, and they use it to start attacking. Even by the cosmos that is saying all these things he's saying right now, you may not be able to talk again. That is another way of tying down the media, tying down the social media in another format. Remember, the social media bill was rejected by Nigeria. the social media regulatory bill, it was rejected completely. Well, the Foreign Aid Regulation Coordination, Transparency and Disclosure Bill of 2026 was sponsored by Senator Ibrahim Hassan Dan Kwambo, all these senators from the North, seeks to establish comprehensive and legal framework for regulating foreign aid in Nigeria. Let's go. Now, when you take a look at all these things, at the end of the day, the bill proposes creating a foreign aid regulatory commission, a register, monitor. This commission will do what? 1, they will register the NGOs. 2, they will monitor the NGOs. 3, they will audit the NGO and oversee all foreign grants, donations, and technical assistance. It mandates government agencies, NGOs, CSOs, and relevant private entities. Now, underline that word, relevant private entities, to register foreign aid within a stipulated period. Integrate donor-funded projects into national and state budget. Another here. Did you hear that one? That you have to integrate donor-funded projects into national and state budget. How? How? So every money will come Nigeria, government won't control them. Government does not know where and how you got to the NGO, but they won't control the fund. They have to integrate it into Nigerian budget, into state government budget. How? Oh, me tabo. The commission will also require public disclosure of funding and project details and prescribe penalties for fund diversion, false disclosures, and unauthorized projects. Let us ask our people, senators, all the constituency projects, can you account for them? The same senators who seek to control NGOs' money, can they account for constituency projects, security votes, and the rest of them? You never even use the money where government give you for your people. You never do the projects, but you want to regulate money somebody went to source out. And that's another issue. With a coalition led by the Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, Mr. Musa Rafsanjani, made the demand at a joint press conference to make them withdraw that thing immediately, where it accused the federal government of shrinking civic space through restrictive laws, arbitrary arrest, judicial harassment, and politically motivated persecution since President Bola Tinubu assumed office in May 2023. I asked this morning, are we in a civilian government or a military government? Where the organizations argue that the pending bills, particularly Senate Bill 1034, seeking to regulate foreign aid, and another proposal compelling the social media companies to establish physical offices in Nigeria, would hand sweeping powers to the executive monitor, regulate and potentially shut down civil society organizations, media organizations, and digital platforms. Remember, Echo FM is a private entity, and if this law comes to power, what do? We will have NBC regulating Nigerian radio stations like Echo FM, Hot FM, and the rest of them. Then we will now have a new agency to oversee. That means if anybody wants to donate money, give Echo FM. We will carry and go Abuja. So this person want to donate this and so money. Oh, when I go see him, how we want to use the money? Government goes, okay, integrate it into. Maybe we want to build a house for maybe like my boss usually do for the less privileged. He has been doing that. Maybe he wants to give feeding to the less privileged. He goes, say, okay, they don't donate money. Oh, when I see the money, how we going to use them? Okay, you people will buy 100 bags of rice. You buy this, you buy that. Or you can't audit account. I don't know what they want to do. But the truth is, that's what it is. Even church, for church to do donations for village people, Abuja must approve. Mosques, the same thing. I don't get it. Well, according to the coalition, the proposed laws will significantly undermine the constitutional rights of freedom of expression and peaceful assembly, association, and a freedom access to information and democratic participation. Rafsanjani said the legislative proposals should not be viewed in isolation, but as part of what he described as a broader pattern of authoritarian practices expanding executive control over civic life while weakening public scrutiny and democratic accountability. The coalition expressed concern that the timing of the proposed laws, with the 2027 general elections approaching, could create an atmosphere of fear and self-censorship capable of undermining electoral transparency and citizens' participation. It argued that independent advocacy, investigative journalism, and public scrutiny were not threats to democracy, but essential as safeguards for constitutional governance and accountability. Meanwhile, human rights lawyer and activist Chidi Anselemuddin Kalu has described the proposed NGO regulation bill before the National Assembly as the most dangerous piece of legislation to come before the legislature since Nigeria returned to democratic rule. All right, I have given you every information you need to know. It's time for you to holler. 0911-20,022 or 0707-454-1014. Let's take your calls now and have your messages. All right, this is Straight Talk live on Echo FM. Let's go. No bending corners. Good morning.
Hello, Barry Cosmos.
I greet you, sir.
Good morning. You know who you call with?
All right, tell me who they call now. Who they call? Name and submission.
Mr. Chidi.
Okay. Mr. Chidi, how far? Oh, Mr. Chidi, your line is breaking. I cannot hear you. Hello? Okay, just change your position and call me back, Mr. Chidi. Thank you. Good morning. What is going on? Arganede, what's going on? All right, let's take another caller. Good morning.
Hello, Barry. Good morning.
Good morning to the senior citizen, Mazu Zoma.
Thank you, Barry.
God bless you.
This is the first time I have a comprehensive definition and description of the meaning of totalitarianism. I don't know what else. Barry,
okay.
It means you've been trying to tell us more than what you have told us. Barry, that if I want to start a group along Teklo Road where I go to work, and that group is called Afternoon Prayer Group, and we raise 200 naira or 5,000 naira to give to some of the men in wheelchairs who pass through there.
Yeah.
I go and register in Abuja.
Yeah.
When I look at it at the bigger level, America is bringing dollars. At the small level here, this is totalitarianism. That is the way it starts. But this is the way it starts. Can you tell me how anybody in church, you will go to church on Sunday, and the pastor says, look, a member of this church family, the woman just had a baby, and you know her husband, no job, nothing. What do we do as a church? We must be registered to be able to raise that money. That is exactly what they are saying. And somebody will explain it to you and tell you that because money is coming from America. But I've asked you on this program repeatedly, more than 4 or 5 times, what is the cost of governance in Nigeria? Whether at the local government level, at the state level, or at the federal level? What is the cost of governance? What does it cost Nigeria to run, and those in charge, to run Nigeria for 12 months? Of course, the budgets have gone from 1 year into another, into another, and into another. How do you audit the budget, Barry? How do you audit 3-4 budgets operating almost at the same time? And you are looking for how to register somebody who goes to raise money privately to help people in need. Barry, this is not the time to talk too much. I think what is happening is that we have never seen this before. May we not see it go through. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Senior citizen, Mazu.
Thank you very much, the senior citizen, for your contribution. All right, keep the calls coming. 0911-20,022. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry Cosmos, my very good friend and brother.
Okay, that's Chief Jude?
My name is Chief Jude Obad, and I usually come from This bill. I want to join the learned son to say that it's the most dangerous bill ever introduced in the National Assembly. It will be choking, unfair, most acceptable, injurious to many Nigerians. And I want to ask, the basis upon which those who introduce this bill even introduce it in the first instance.
Yeah.
They may think that they are undoing the opposition political parties or the churches, as the case may be. But at the end of the day, may turn out to be like the practical jokes of Erasmus that did more harm to the church than the angry words of Martin Luther when we were studying the history of the medieval ages. It is unfortunate because, you see, organizations like the Christians will eventually rise up and say, so this is the way you want to treat us, and then massively vote against the ruling party in 2020 election. And at the end of the day, they will suffer for it. So my honest and candid piece of advice to the National Assembly is to make sure that they would always be in all its entirety and forget everything about it. It is not a welcome one. It's not a people's-friendly bill at all. It is intended to undo so many people. You can imagine in my church, you as a Muslim leader, I want to do, I will come and subject it to you for scrutiny. It is not possible. It's an impossibility. And this might eventually make Nigeria incur the wrath of international communities. Because, this is overstepping their bound. And the joke taken too far. And indeed, biting more than they can chew. And teaching a white group to eventually hit the brick wall at the end of the day. I completely take it. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you, Chief Jude. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's Peter.
Dumpy.
Good morning.
How about it?
Body there inside clothes.
This is how you did drink water this morning.
The weather no the fire
at all.
The issue of this NGO from to federal government. All the money they have, they used to go. That one is not enough for them. It's NGO money that is enough for them. I laugh for because they are market.
All right. Thank you very much, John Peters. Okay, now let's get to who are these people sponsoring this bill. Well, Senator Ibrahim Hassan Dankwambo is representing Gombe North. He's the one that is sponsoring this bill. But who are those pushing it in the Nigerian Senate? The people who are pushing it, the backers of this Senate, is none other than the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Senator Adams Oshomole. So surprising, who both claim the regulation is urgent for national security. So everybody should know people who are for you and against you. When the election comes, you know what to do. The mechanism, this version explicitly seek to set up a foreign aid regulatory commission to forcefully monitor, audit, and mandate the registration of all international grants, donations, and non-profit projects. Now, there's a big difference between NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and non-profit organizations. I hope you understand. There's a stark difference between them. I don't have time to go telling us what the difference is, but definitely you can check that up. What is different between NGO and non-profit organizations? So now, if this Senate, headed by the two most vocal voices in this 10th Assembly, Oshomole and Akpabio, what is the fate of Nigerians when it comes to this bill? Now, how will this bill prevent national security? How will this regulating all these things help national security? But have they looked at national security and the problems this bill will come out of? Well, they say public hearing. Now, this is one of the things we're doing, public hearing. If you're in support of the bill, say aye. If you're against it, say nay. Good morning. Good morning.
This is Zuma from Amok.
Zuma from Amok. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm very, very surprised in the action of the Senate President and his group. When it comes in something that will affect Nigeria, you see them running more than their shadow. But things that will favor the country, you will not see them. But it's very, very painful. And you ask the question, are we in military regime or civilian or democratic regime? But I will tell you about it that we are not neither in military regime nor democracy. We are in a wicked regime, devilish regime, whereby they want to shut everybody up. Very soon now, we're calling a radio station. They will still bring out a bill that will shut us up. So that will not be calling and be making our own point. But I want to say every Nigeria, seeing all these things playing out, to stand up now, because if you say it doesn't concern me, one day it will concern you, because it will bring out bills that will even make you not to stand up from your own house. Because that is where they are aiming to. So every Nigeria should step up. So anything you know you can do it now. That's the only thing I have for Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. One day we'll go wake up, say, before you go eat, you go Abuja, go take permission. Now the bill will remain where they go do yourself. Or before you go even go marry, you go take permission. Even if you marry, before you get picking, go and take permission. Even if you, before you go enter the other room, go and take permission. Now the bill will remain where they go still bring for this country. Because this one is completely out of point. If you ask me, on a personal note, this is not about being a prisoner. On a personal note, this is completely wrong. Well, Don Peter says, good morning, Mr. Barry Cosmos. This government don't mean well for our citizens. We don't hear any person that can benefit to stand, but them in government offices do the worst. But Barrio, it's high time we change this our country. Let's try this country to see whether things will change. All right. Again, there's one thing I want to ask those people in government. Do you believe that one day you'll be out of government, or you think you'll be in government forever? Akpabio, Oshomoles, and the rest of them, Dan Kwambo, who are putting up this bill. Is government your own property that you think you just bring regulations that will affect millions of people? Now, we have 109 senators. These 109 senators will not even come back to their people to ask what their people think about this kind of bill that will affect everybody. They will make a decision on behalf of over 250 million Nigerians. Yes, 109 senators. These people will make what will affect 200 million people. Try. This is the fate of what we call democracy. Good morning.
Good morning once again, Mr. Barry Olumbise Onyeze.
Good morning to you.
Mr. Barry, are you seeing how Antichrist is looming in this country? We find ourselves that call Nigeria for now. Senators who sent to represent us is now working against the masses. You ask yourself, now that this thing is coming to the public hearing, the senators that we send there, are they coming? Have they ever come to their constituency, maybe to give a constituency briefing? You ask yourself, how many times have we seen all these ones representing us here in Imo State? Let me use Imo State, the Owerri zone, or Kigbe zone, and Dolu zone, coming to give us constituency briefing to tell us what is going there, how they are improving, and how they are passing bill, and how they, all these things are very, very important. The due to we have Robert senators, we see how they are leading us to sideline us, to just to take us to the place we don't know where we are heading to. May God deliver us. Thank you, God bless. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, let's take another message. Ahunwa John Easy, Honorable John Ahunwa, DJ Easy is from Nkali, Fakala, Mbitali local government area. Says, good morning, Barry. How are you doing this morning? Barry, why is it that our so-called legislators can never think of one good law that will favor the masses? Upon all their promises during campaign, the worst is that they won't even seek the people's opinion, only to fasten the passage. Today, you hear NGO bill. Tomorrow, a state police. Thank God, election is around the corner. Thanks and have a nice day ahead. DJ Easy, Emeka Tonere or Suji says, this bill, if passed to law, will not go well for the citizens. So, from the analysis of Barrister Odinkalu, this bill is dangerous and a breach of fundamental human rights of a citizen. Personally, I don't and will never subscribe to that bill. This is misplacement of priority. Let all the senators go back to their constituencies to sort for public opinion. and their constituents' views before considering that bill. Nigerians will never subscribe to that bill, and it will never scale through. Emeka Tonore from MCC Road. Comrade Gregory Chidalu says, good morning, the Okenzo on Radio. Ogabario, a school of thought told us that Nigeria adopted presidential system of governance or government from America. Please, where did Nigeria adopt corruption from? It is time for all Nigerians to stop all motivational quotes and get action. Enough of all this rascality, authoritarianism, and soon the Nigeria you see today, we shall see it no more. All right, Ampadek Chidozie was texting from Umokane, or Haji, the most peaceful community in Imo State. Says, good morning, Barry. One name, sincerely speaking, men in this present APC-led administration, they have destroyed Nigeria in a broad daylight. We are tolerating much in this colonial contraption called Nigeria. May God help us. Anyway, that's the gospel according to Paddock there. To our WhatsApp we go. Barry and your guest, okay, that's yesterday's message. Say, Barry, happy morning. Senator Dan Kwambo retired as the Accountant General of the Federation and become governor of Gombe State. After that, he is in the Senate. Now you can see why he is becoming a senatorial terrorist. What do you expect from a xenophobic party faithfuls? The people's elder have spoken. The Princess Jigla say, nay, a country with no social security and no family support program, this is amazing horror. Chai, nay, say the Princess Jiglad. Good morning, Barry Cosmos. Well, Barry Cosmos, the Princess Jiglad is answering nay. The eyes don't have it today. That's what he's saying. Good morning.
My brother Barry, good morning.
I greet you.
My name is Amechi. Who knows tomorrow?
Who knows tomorrow?
Yes.
What a name.
That's my name.
Okay.
My brother, there is a song that sings like this. Carry me go where I don't know. You know that song, what do you mean? Nigeria is leading us where we don't know.
Yeah.
Where Nigeria, they carry us go. My brother, I don't know whether an antichrist. They want to shut down all human beings within this country down. Let only them be that cause themselves. They are the next God, but they cannot be God. Imagine somebody will sleep, wake up, carry this can bill, come. Dream finish, carry this can thing, come. I pity for them. Anything they think about us, for us to vanish in this earth, they are not God. That's the only thing I have to talk.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Paul from Owerri.
Okay, Paul, go ahead.
I have no more to say that this kind of government is worse than democracy, worse than autocracy.
Child.
It is only practiced in hellfire.
Wow.
We are therefore give the last command and you have no option than to obey it. That's where the government is leading us. Thank you, government.
Thank you very, very much. Anyway, the government said they want to take national security. Do you agree with that? Using this bill to call people who are sponsoring. True to a fact, we've seen NGOs who come in this country, pretend to be helping, while smuggling in money to fund terrorists. That is something. But will this bill stop that from happening? If they can do it now, what makes you think they won't do it when the bill comes to effect? The people this bill is targeting, you won't touch them. Now, the normal people will not think concerned, and now you're going to affect them. They have brought cyber security law that if you check this one, if you do this one, you post this one, a problem. Now there's a bill forcing YouTube, forcing Facebook. For me, for that one, I'm happy. Yet let them do that particular one. Let them come and build office. More to see them. More know why they will give America, Europe, and the rest of them different conditions to earn on YouTube, why they give Africans, Nigerians in particular, different condition to earn on YouTube. So all those kind of crazy things. And Facebook, same thing. They approve here, they're paying here, they're not paying here, all those kind of things. Why should they do it? So Nigerians, we deserve that one. But definitely, what will it add? Will it change them, or will it stop Facebook, which is a global entity that everybody is enjoying today. Somebody sat down and thought about it. Instead of Nigerian government to think about what they could do in terms of technology, raising thing, at least we'll get leke by Arise TV or This Day newspaper. But now that leke, I don't know what they do. They don't begin pay people because people never subscribe. Let's take another caller. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, that sounds like the elder statesman, Comrade F.I. Agba.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
You see, if Nigerians wake up now, it is not yet late. But this thing has been going gradually.
Okay.
The plan is to Islamize the country and have life residents.
Are you serious?
The police station, all of them, they are associated. You know why they did BVN? BVN is to know all accounts connected with an individual so that they can zero in on you. A police. So the Nigerian government has gradually been encroaching on individual freedom. For instance, telephones were registered in this country. How much did they cost us? And the whole idea was to tap into this telephone call, which they did. What other thing advantage has this country? Nothing. Then, because if they don't want you to have a account, they cannot encroach on. But the surprising thing that's why I'm saying Nigerians wake up. Because even trade unions, churches, that alone can frustrate them. But they are not yet satisfied. They want to introduce more restrictions to people's freedom. How do you defend privacy, which is in our fundamental human right everywhere, and it's in our own constitution? When you go, if I want to eat in my house, you will know what I want to eat, and you will detect it.
Sure.
This thing they are doing are to control the honest people, not to control the criminals. Because if somebody wants to bring money from outside this country, he wouldn't go through the bank. He can bring some goods and sell it here, and don't put it in the bank. Put the money under his pillow. There are people who have strong rooms in their houses.
All right.
But the ordinary man is the person who will suffer. But their main aim is to frustrate the churches and trade unions and Islamize this country.
Thank
and so
you.
if Nigerians wake up now, it's not yet late. But if they continue, they will be going gradually. Even to come on the road, you will need their permission. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, the elder statesman, Comrade F.I. Agba, a senior citizen of Nigeria. All right, let's just rush these calls. These messages because we have to go. Today, I'm going to make another call to a very beautiful soul again. Happy morning, the only Barry Cosmos. It is welcome development to the person that introduced it, those that sponsor it, and those who want to pass the bill into law. It will really affect the poor masses. What remains is if you want to poo, you tell the government. If you want to you tell the Lord government. He said the Lord government. Oh God, may you help us. That is the prayer from this messenger. Dr. Sinaz is still global, says Mr. Barry Cosmos, one on radio. There is a news report that Rep. Abdulsamad Dasuki making two major recommendations to INEC and FG ahead of the 2027 election. What is hold the 2027 general election in one day? Rep. Dasuki, Deputy Minority Leader of the House, is arguing INEC to stop the current staggered system, the current plan, federal elections and all that. All right, we'll talk about that some other day. Thank you. This other one says, good morning, Barry Cosmos, one and the Okens on radio. Barry, I hope it is now clear that those people have something fishy. First is their mission to grab the 36 states, then the Southern State Police. Now this very new bill, we should wake up, Barry. What happened to our national treasury? What are they doing with all the borrowed money? They want us caged forever, but God will not allow that to happen. I remain Henry Naji from our farmer market, Old Road, Nekade. This other one says, good morning, Barry, and happy new day. As usual, my name still remains Felix Nwozo, texting from my humble community, Umwahimberry. Barry, this bill is very laughable and must be rejected by Nigerians. First, let me ask, who regulates the money borrowed by government and state governments, and who's checkmate the money given to our senators for constituency allowance? Please, I demand an answer before this bill will see the light of the day. Otherwise, this bill will not see the light of the day. But let our senators first make a bill that will checkmate the money given to them for constituency allowance. Here, I rest my case. All right, thank you very much. Let's round this program up with Engineer Ebuka texting from my humble community. All right, he proposed, from Futo rather. The proposed NGO appropriation bill, from my perspective, is a democratic system, has permissible operating limits. Once those limits are exceeded, deformation, fatigue, eventual structural failure become inevitable. Lawmakers should therefore function as a legislator of equilibrium, not as external forces that overcompress the constitutional system. Any legislation that restricts legitimate civic engagement beyond the threshold of proportionality risks creating an irreversible thermodynamic process in which public trust is progressively converted into political entropy. All right, that is why we'll be drawing the curtain for today's program. Thank you all for joining, and of course, we do hope the National Assembly members are listening. Nigerians say nay to this particular bill. Okay, it's time for us to reach out to a beautiful soul, and let's get to hear what this message is all about. We will be calling somebody. I want to play another prank this morning to see if they will catch me. It's time to prank somebody. Let's go.
Echo FM.